Alright, so my original plan was to have a playlist of videos with a little more analysis for Dragon's Dogma 2, similar to what I was doing with Elden Ring. But I realized what I really want to show off with Dragon's Dogma 2 is just, it's a fun game worth your time. And I think just doing a playthrough of that would be enough to show that. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start a new game. I'm gonna leave the video I have up on my channel for the original way I was planning to play through this, just to compare and contrast. But we're gonna start a new game here. Yep, we're okay with erasing the save data. I did make a backup copy if I decide to go that way. So casual, normal. Obviously, we're gonna do the true Dragon's Dogma experience here. Start game on normal mode, yes. Conviction is the human will that reaches its greatest power. I've really just been wanting to play this again, and having the scripted videos take so long just has prevented me from actually being able to do that.
Yet it has not been for naught. At last! The bell has tolled on the age
Guy's
of the
nodding,
council.
was nodding in the background.
At
The other guy's
last,
just
we may
staring
celebrate
at his
the coming
dinner. It's like,
of our
just
rightful
let me eat.
ruler.
I just want to eat. Definitely a bigger affair than it was treated in the first game.
Thou who wouldst slay the dragon,
And that's why this guy's bothered with it.
if thou
So, we were poisoned at this moment. I'm wondering if he would have still spoken to us, or been able to have spoken to us if we weren't, or if it was that fading to consciousness that actually allowed him to do that. That's the problem when we play hard and fast with rules with magic. As long as it's serviceable, it works. Alright, and obviously we're going to make the character again.
Aha! I thought I recognized you.
I'm probably going to try and get it close to what we had before. Choose a race and body type. Base head will determine the character's base appearance. Yeah, we know all that. Well, I should still read it out. We'll do Beastrin again. Yeah, that looks like a decent character. That is at least good enough for me to be happy with it until we feel the need to change it, which I don't typically do. And I think we avoided giving him anxiety this time, so progress. Then default vocation. This time I think we will lean into getting the free equipment by switching classes, so we're gonna start as fighter and switch to something else when we get there. And then voice. Yeah, 20's fine. It doesn't really do anything. Name. Well, it's the name for the channel. It's also my name. We'll just continue with that for convenience, because I don't really have a brand for the channel, but have some consistency will help, I think. And then the moniker, just find something close, I suppose. Oh. I'm not actually used to seeing my name in list of names, honestly. It's not super uncommon, but you'd be surprised how hard it is to actually find. Right, let's go ahead and get started with this.
would you take pity on me, sir?
Sure, you have my pity. I'm sorry. So some pawns just have weird behavior, I think, that they pick up from other people. Probably why they're justifying, like, yeah, okay, he's a little chatty. He'll learn. Excavation site, the hole. Oh, look, it's this guy.
This is no place for one of your ilk. 'Tis harsh beyond measure.
Did I crash? The game froze. OBS still looks like it's recording.
Even we
There we
pawns
go.
are pushed to the brink.
What was that? The game just couldn't handle Rook. You're the boss, Rook. At least until we can find the nearest body of water. Also going to... Oh, there it goes. Looked like it was coming back. Crash report opened in the background, and then it kept going. Actually, the game is still going. Just alt-tab me out. Hold on, we'll be back, I think. Okay, we're back. We're back. Had not just the game crash, but my whole computer. Went to update the drivers for it, and then I was out of memory because of all the junk that Windows and various websites put on your disk. I have 4 different drives, admittedly one of which is just filled because of the size of games, but the C drive is smaller than the others because it was an SSD. One of the early ones too, that wasn't super big, but it should still be fast enough. But the more I use Windows, it just keeps loading it. Yeah, it's so frustrating. But it's cleaned. Shouldn't have this happen again. Alright, so let's go
Time for you to
pick
get
up some
to work.
rocks. Time to get to work. Pick up a boulder. Yep, gotta show off the... I guess the big feature of Dragon's Dogma? Being able to pick things up. Or, I guess just general physics interaction with the environment.
The vicinity is quite cluttered. Pray leap! or that post...
Thank you, Lynn, but I don't think I can leap with the rock. Oh, I can. It just doesn't really do anything. I'm leaping.
A job well done. Now the next step is to...
Oh, thank you.
What is
That's a
this
good
commotion?
excuse to not work anymore.
Perhaps we ought to investigate.
Anything to say about this? No?
I've never heard such
All right.
nonsense.
You know what?
How horrible.
Some of these expressions. Okay.
Observe your foes carefully.
Let's see if I can't remember the controls.
Situation demands.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but
Shields offer welcome
between
protection
Souls,
from
Monster Hunter, and this, all the controls are vaguely similar, or at least similar enough to get me in trouble.
boulders.
So this is pretty close to the first Dragon Dogma's opening.
Strikes. I would recommend clinging to it.
I think this might be a better tutorial altogether, but I think the first one overall is a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, I still don't think it's bad. Yeah, that's our preview fight, though.
You won't flee,
Oh, these expressions.
have to worry not.
Yeah, so this is a different voice than the other one we were hearing in the castle. Flee for your life. Flee for your life.
You must, John. That is the only path forward.
Okay. If you say so. Real stand-up, trustworthy sort. I do really like this flyover. It's a great way to build up hype for the world we're gonna be in. Basically end up seeing a preview of the world starting from our end point until we get to where we're gonna start.
The brine may swallow me whole.
If the game didn't
but
do
will
it,
not
I probably
perish.
would have.
There is a stone not far from here. Will surely cross again.
His mouth was actually underwater when he said that.
Oi! Are you alright?
Our paths will surely...
Was it you then? The one who was riding on its back?
Yes, it was me.
'Tis a
Just
wonder
me.
you survived.
No one else.
Accompany me to the stronghold. We'll treat your wounds and hear your story.
One, I'm not wounded. There's nothing to treat. You wouldn't have done that anyway.
So we are right mess to clean up. Who knew there'd be a cavern round here?
So we gotta come back here.
A single bolt from
Probably won't be a
the
big
list.
cavern, but I'm sure there's
Well
something
aimed
there.
at that. Must be one of Ser Linnet's from out of Melve.
Not gonna give me any drops early, huh?
Could it be you were held in the neighbouring country of Batal?
Yeah, so clearly explain to him
That's
at
unlikely.
some point.
We've been estranged from Batal ever since the war. It is difficult to imagine any citizen of Vermont being sent there. Fine! Goblins! Let's take up your weapons, sir. You'll be needing it. Where are you going? I'll not force you to retreat.
What do you mean, where am I
I
going?
at least like a word.
Where are you? Catch up.
If you find your strength lacking, imbibe a curative or have a bit of green orange.
Where were
There are
you?
oft items to be
Made me do
scavenged,
this all
models
myself.
of monsters and their ilk. If
gonna say
you're
I'm
not
running
squeamish
away?
About picking at their bones, that is.
Come on.
Have you beheld the dragon as yet?
Next time you refuse to fight, I'm throwing you at the enemy.
And I count that a blessing. We can but hope that the sovereign will rid us of it ere long.
Ah. Should have defended.
No mean feat. But the sovereign's duty. The dragon rears its ugly head. The sovereign appears among the people and steps forth to challenge.
You know, I don't play fighter much.
I dare
Maybe
say
I'll
Vermin
spend some
owes
more time
much
with
of
it
its
this time.
prosperity to the sovereigns who have served it over time. Though, personally, I'm just glad to know we've got someone looking out for us.
Nope, there's more there. And it's just gold. I will take gold. Something I can always use. This the normal welcoming committee?
Welcome, Arisen. We pawns have long awaited your arrival.
What is this? Pawns. They bend the knee to you so readily, but then... No.
Oh,
Surely you cannot be the Arisen.
face
You
is still a
seek the
little
Riftstone,
off.
Do you not? We can take you to
That's
it.
okay. That's okay.
Pray,
We'll stick with it.
come this way. Summon your pawn. Simply paint with your mind's eye the loyal attendant whom you would have serve you.
Right, and just like I tried to make a similar character to the first video, I'm going to try to make a similar companion. At least it's pretty close to Faye, right? Well, too late to back out now. This is what I chose, this is what we're going with.
Pawns are known as Crossers of the Rift, for we are able to connect to and traverse other realms beyond this one.
Oh good, we still have the comedy duo difference in size. I was worried when I didn't go as small as I possibly could.
I thought the Arisen was in the capital.
Yeah, strange, huh?
Surely there's only meant to be one Arisen. Fie, this is all beyond my ken.
So I'm assuming that the guards are a little more informed about there being an Arisen, because there are wandering false Arisens.
The Watchhead would know what to do, I'm sure. Though, as luck would have it, he's away.
Mayhap. Border Watch Outpost. Yeah, we'll sleep at the end in just a second. We're gonna hire a pawn that actually lets us heal first.
Hail, Arisen. Pray, ask aught you wish to know.
You gotta do this now?
I shall answer, if 'tis within my power to do so. Very well. May fortune...
Okay, what I want is... Yeah, I'm not gonna have many options. Although it's not weapon skill, right? For mage, they changed that to be just... basic?
I am
Valkyrie.
attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support.
On details. Yeah, core skill. That's what I'm looking for. Just Anodyne. We'll be replacing these early pawns pretty quickly. So, it's a core skill. All the mages are going to have it. Although, let's have someone who sounds a little different.
I pray my efforts aid your cause.
You have some wide shoulders. But you'll do.
If ever you've need of an ear to listen, you have but to ask.
Conquests are tasks given to your main pawn to be completed beyond the rift. You set the task and must stipulate a reward for the Arisen who hires your main pawn to receive upon the task's completion. Pawn quests provide valuable opportunities for you to obtain items and acquire pawn badges, so you should endeavor to get your pawn hired as often as possible. When setting a reward for the Arisen who hires your main pawn to receive, you can either select specific items or nominate a sum of gold. Items will be removed from your inventory, gold will be subtracted from your funds. It is also possible to trade with other Arisen by setting the retrieval of items you desire as the pawn quest objective. And then, if I remember right, it will only... multiple different players can accept the quest and complete it, but then it will only take the original amount out of your account. So if you put up a pawn quest for 2,000 gold, you'll lose the 2,000 gold, but other players can take that. Okay, so we got an archer, we got a mage, get a warrior, Toby.
I am a fighter by trade. Send me to the Vanguard, where I might put my strength to full use.
Then again, try to get it for 9 days. Whitestone Shard is helpful as a quest. But we had another mage here.
'Tis a pleasure to meet you.
Maybe we get for 2 mages. Two mages or 2 fighters? do 2
If we
mages.
share our strengths,
We'll do 2
we can
mages.
begin formulating a strategy that caters to our respective skills.
Hopefully I can keep them for at least a day and a night. Then I will get the 2 Wakestone shards from that. But if I need to change them out, they're level 2. That will not be a problem. Should set a pawn quest, though. No, you know what? We'll leave that for now, because that's an easy one to solve. And Wakestone shards are always helpful.
You are in need of healing.
Oh.
Allow me.
Oh, you could have
Wait
aimed it at
right
me.
there.
I'm waiting. Okay. Though, we are gonna rest first. Just so we have that proper save here. Autosave data cannot be relied upon to save your progress in this world. It is recommended that you rest at inns at regular intervals if you wish to ensure your reliability of your save data.
My pa always used to say, there's naught a good night's sleep can't fix. Not much else I can offer, I'm afraid, but you'll find all sorts at a finer inn.
Good night's sleep is underrated.
Aye.
Get it
Being
while you
armed is
can.
better than being defenseless, even if you're untrained.
Staying at an inn fully restores your party's health and stamina. It also recovers your lost gauge? Tripping over my words again. Which represents a reduction in your health and accumulates when taking damage. When resting at an inn, you can choose whether to rise in the morning or at night. Useful if you need to set out at a particular time. Foresighted adventurers will stay at inns regularly to avoid risks when traveling far afield. So this is the established gameplay loop, right? Prep, rest, adventure, return. Rinse, repeat.
We must rest, though the sun is still up.
I mean, we don't have to.
A moment long awaited. I knew 'twas only a matter of time before your skills reached a new height. There's no discipline that steadfast devotion cannot teach.
You do not need to hype me up that much for level 2. Thank you, though. I will take that. Lantern oil's helpful. Actually, I said we probably wouldn't be using the DLC stuff. Let me see if they give me any...
if you'd like to change your vocation, come see me anytime.
If they give me any armor, I might use that. Nope, it's just the weapons. I'm fine sticking with the starting weapons.
Always a pleasure.
Would like to stop looking like a prisoner, though. But we'll stick with not using the vocation, changing to get extra armor, at least for now.
Well met.
Well met. The real question is, stick it out for the fighter/warrior vocation for the armor, or get the one that's universal. Well, I suppose I can get this one, because if I change off fighter, I'm probably going to put Faye in that position. So these won't go to waste until the point where we can just replace them with outright better things. So we will purchase that.
The longer the journey, the more supplies we'll require.
I quite agree.
Yep, can always sell this back to them.
What? Weren't harpies reported in that area? Hyde can't handle those beasts on his own.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. Fie! I want to go to his aid, but we can't just abandon our posts.
Harpies are everywhere. Now, new recruit just can't handle it. Can't go 5 steps outside the city. Just can't handle it.
Say, you seem stout of heart. Would you be willing to go in our stead? 'Tisn't far, only a short ways out from the main gate. You've my thanks. And
Sure,
a
why
Cardo's
not?
as well, I'm sure.
You can select a quest to prioritize from among those you have accepted. If the quest destination is known, a marker will be placed on your map to indicate it. Furthermore, if you have a pawn in your party who possesses knowledge of that particular quest, they will be able to guide you to your objective. However, pawns with such knowledge will not offer guidance unless the quest is set as priority. Which also means if you don't want to head towards that quest, you can just unselect a priority quest and not worry about it. Warning regarding quest progression. Some quests are affected by the passage of time and will progress even without the Arisen's involvement. Taking on multiple quests at once comes with a risk of being unable to act in time, and this can result in unintended consequences. Try to bear the factor of time in mind when managing your current quests and taking on new ones.
Let us make haste. The no life may be lost on our account.
Agreed. Let's hurry. I seem to know where you're going. Lead the way. So keep an eye out. I'm just going to double check that they're actually taking me the right direction. I didn't change the quest, so they are not. We would have passed by it anyway. But now we can at least plan for turning around. Pawn commands. There are 4 commands that the Arisen can use to direct their pawn companions. Their effects vary according to the circumstances in which they are used, such as when in or out of combat. Best way to get a feel for each command is to observe your pawn's response and course of action in various situations. Go instructs pawns to act independently of the Arisen. During combat, it directs pawns to spread out across the battlefield. It can also be used to request assistance with carrying out an action, to request guidance to a location, or to instruct a pawn to resume guidance that has been interrupted. I've had mixed results with the continue if we've been interrupted, but the rest of it's been working pretty fine for me. To me, instructs pawns to approach the Arisen. During combat, it directs pawns to fight by the Arisen's side. 9 times out of 10, if I'm using this, it's because we need to hurry and run away from something bad happening. Wait instructs pawns to remain where they are until they are given a different command. During combat, it directs pawns to cease attacking and focus on aiding the Arisen indirectly. This one I mostly only use for quests, and help instructs pawns to prioritize support, healing, and recovery. I don't use that, and I probably should. We're gonna die at least a couple of times here. Yep, ran. Can't grab it when it's not damaged. It's got that stability. No one else up here, but there is this.
I'll combine my magic with yours.
It's got a lot of
You
horror.
might cast the spell more quickly.
Hey, there is something else up here. Oh, yes.
That was incredible. Never have I encountered such a strategy.
Now that is a surprise.
It is a pretty effective strategy. You know what? Yeah.
That was
Every time.
superb, Arisen.
Now, I'm going to be at a disadvantage on my own with the Harpies. I'm usually playing a class that has some ranged ability.
Well done.
Stay with me, Arisen.
Yeah,
Right there.
that is pretty effective. Okay, I think having 2 mages in the party
Is that all of them?
that was a good decision.
You have my thanks. I do not believe for a moment I could have slain those creatures without your help.
You really seem to be struggling.
I've only just enlisted, and when I thought this could be the end of me, I was paralyzed.
Yeah, there's all
You
things.
saved me this time.
Always things we're all afraid
I
of.
won't always be so fortunate. I'll have to train harder till I have the confidence to face such beasts on my own. Well, I'd best be heading back, but I'll be sure to let my superiors know of your good deed. I hope we meet again someday.
Making our report ought to be our next priority.
Yep. I'm sure he'd say something on his way back, but we gotta go officially.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
I do need potatoes, actually, for that other quest that's here. Bushes with potatoes might be further closer to the outpost. Rapid pelts. I think there's a couple of armor upgrades that need them.
I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
Need the practical stuff first. Treasure's gonna come later. Can use the apples. So we'll take those. But yes, I think... Liana, you are dangerously close to that ledge. Back away, maybe? Oh, there's a chest over there. Oh.
Harpies, master.
Okay, just a harpy. I heard wing beats and I was a little
Exploiting our
concerned.
enemy's weakness.
The Arisen has been...
Oh, please help. I'm in a bad spot for this. Debilitations are negative statuses with effects that range from inflicting damage at steady intervals to making the target vulnerable to a specific type of attack. They are not exclusive to the Arisen and their pawns, but can be inflicted upon their enemies as well, granting a fierce edge in battle if applied wisely. Consult each debilitation's entry for more information about its effects.
Just sleep!
You have my protection.
Thank you, Faye. That was very effective. Oh, she's not playing around. Thank you, Ricardo. Back up. Alright, was it worth it?
There. Methinks I spy aught of use.
We ought to take a closer look.
The extracts are another thing which I don't use and probably should. Okay, let's get back and report in. Because I haven't picked up that camping gear yet. Your
Hail,
champion has
friend.
returned.
Many thanks for aiding Ricardo. 'Twas a relief to see him return, and none the worse for wear.
Aye, that it was. The poor sod might not have made it back alive had you not intervened.
Yeah, he wasn't doing too hot when I saw him.
'Twas a bit too early for him to be seeing actual combat. That much was made well clear.
But also maybe go out in pairs.
We'll
Don't
be
send
extending
a
his
single
training
person
period.
alone.
The instructors here are well known for whipping recruits into shape with their grueling regimes.
Oh, poor guy.
Speaking of training regimes, I must admit I've half a mind to ask you to join us. We could use someone with your experience.
We have
no.
succeeded in defending our
No.
charge. A sign of good things to come, mayhap?
Mayhap.
One could not have hoped for a gladder outcome.
Shut up.
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
We have a purpose for it. I turned it into a healing potion.